This is Burt Reynolds. Welcome to Tomorrow Today. Rockets, robots, and more optimism than you can shake a Geiger counter at.
I dreamt last night the moon was so bright it melted the walls away. And it wasn't alarming when I saw Prince Charming come into my bedroom and say,
"Let me persuade you to come to the place where tomorrow meets today."
"Ooh, thank you. It sounds very exciting. May I come just as I am?"
Hey, girls don't go to Motoramas dressed in a pair of pink pajamas.
Maybe they don't, but I don't care. Haven't got a single thing to wear.
Quick, please, a gown.
Ooh, I'll be the talk of the town. Oh, my.
Go after it, fly.
I followed my heart through the night past 1,000 windows, yellow with light. Down, down it fell, and it landed in the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. I'm a girl who happens to think that a brand new car is better than mink.
Excited?
Delighted. So glad I got invited.
Since it's just a dream and involves no money, which one would you like me to buy you, honey?
They're all so beautiful, I really don't know, so let me go down, get the lowdown, and look at each one much closer. I want a Corvette.
I thought you would.
Ooh, I want a Pontiac too.
Okay, we'll have the usual two-car garage. How do you feel about this fine Oldsmobile?
It's easy to see myself taking the wheel.
This Buick's a beaut.
I'll try it. Ooh, what a dreamy ride. I think that we ought to buy it.
Let's go all out and buy a Cadillac too.
I can hardly wait for this dream to come true.
Hey, lady, your apron is showing.
Better get her into the kitchen quick.
Just like a man, you give him a break, and you wind up in the kitchen baking a cake. But this was a kitchen like none I'd seen. Put a card in the slot, and onto the screen pops a picture of just how your dish will look, plus all the ingredients you need to cook. No need for the bride to feel tragic. The rest is push-button magic. So whether you bake or broil or stew, the Frigidaire kitchen does it all for you. Don't have to be chained to the stove all day. Just set the timer and you're on your way. Tick tock, I'm free to have fun around the clock. Jeepers, I'm exhausted. The kitchen of tomorrow is calling me. My cake is ready.
Time for the show. Everybody on stage. And now, a glamorous dancer in a special number, Dance of Tomorrow.
Everyone says the future is strange, but I have a feeling some things won't change. The dream cars of tomorrow.
A magnificent Eldorado town car by Cadillac.
Ensemble by Christian Dior of Paris.
Buick presents the sleek Centurion.
Driving Coat by Montesano of New York.
Oldsmobile's elegant golden rocket.
Sports Outfit by Pat Primo of Los Angeles.
Pontiac's Club de Mer, open to the sky.
Costume by Emilio of Capri.
Chevrolet's Impala, graceful and swift.
Silk Casual by Digby Morton of London.
And last of all, designed for the electronic highway of the future, the fabulous turbine-powered Firebird 2.
It's you!
Firebird 2 to Control Tower. We are about to take off on the highway of tomorrow. Stand by.
Tomorrow, our dreams will come true.
Together we'll make the world
100 years ago in the land of sky blue waters. A beer is a beer until you've tasted hams.
It's raisins that make Post Raisin Bran so wonderful. It's raisins that make Post Raisin Bran so different. It's raisins that make Post Raisin Bran so raisiny. More raisins, lots more raisins, more raisins than you have ever seen before. If you like raisins and juicy raisins, you like Post Raisin Bran more.
Post, the more raisin bran.
I was a 97-ounce weakling. There I was with my favorite girl when along came the bully at the beach. Then I heard about Purina cat chow with more bodybuilding protein than any other cat food, canned or dry. It made me strong, handsome, fearless. Yeah!
My hero.
Purina cat chow, highest protein cat food.
Wow, what a beauty. By golly, I think I'll buy a new car. Say, Millie, how long have I had the old one?
1 year, 8 months, 14 days, 11 minutes, 43 seconds. 3 o'clock, boss. Time to go home.
So it is. Well, I'm ready. A long day, 11 to 3, 2 hours for lunch, 3 days a week.
It's a tough life.
I've never eaten anything so fattening in my entire life.
Give me license number WJK-412.
I did 3 hearts. 3 no trump. I passed.
Do you mind if I pass?
Certainly not. Go right ahead.
Thanks. No doubt about it. This bus is a little old-fashioned. Well, that was delicious.
That concludes tonight's thrilling episode of our three-dimensional Western, brought to you by Energade, the combination soft drink, candy, and dessert with the three-dimensional flavor. Good, good, good. Buy it at your local market. 21st century cars!
presents your personal master of ceremony.
Hello, folks. Say that. Now we are going to bring you a special entertainment feature which will show the development of the automobile.
Oh, Pop, I want to see another cowboy picture.
Quiet.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, not you. Say, those new models look terrific.
They are terrific. You should see what your grandfather used to call an automobile. Okay, Sam, start the show. Now, folks, believe it or not, this is actually an automobile. When Grandpa was a 17-year-old hot rodder around the turn of the century, this job was the hottest thing on wheels. Grandpa's newfangled horseless carriage changed his whole life in more ways than one. Motoring was a thrilling experience even in those days. Since there weren't any doors in Grandpa's dreamboat, sometimes it was a little too thrilling. Every trip was an adventure in those days, and one thing you could always depend on: a flat tire. The old retaining rings on the rims didn't always retain what they were supposed to retain. Shock absorbers hadn't been invented yet, and road conditions were ideal for testing the fatigue and failure points of automobiles and drivers. Grandpa's car didn't have much acceleration for passing, so he found himself on the wrong side of the road for longer than he should be. Caught out at night, Grandpa's gas or oil headlamps weren't much competition for a couple of fireflies. The little speedster had no top, and it was far from comfortable in an unexpected shower. The windshield was a great improvement, but without a wiper, even Grandpa's 20/20 vision couldn't keep him out of trouble. The runabout didn't have a self-starter, and often the 10-horsepower engine didn't respond to the hand crank. Occasionally, even on good roads, individual parts failed without warning. Axles snapped. When drag links and steering knuckles failed, it was hard to tell what might happen. With every passing year, improvements came thick and fast. Stronger and safer wheels were developed with demountable rims for tires. Doors were added to keep people safely inside. Tops became standard equipment. Windshields protected motorists from bugs and the elements. Wipers were invented to help the motorist drive safely in bad weather. The driver's seat was moved from right to left to make passing safer. The electric starter replaced the old hand crank. This remarkable invention enabled Grandma to get into the automobile driving act, and she really loved it. As the years went by, the automobile manufacturers continued to improve their cars and make them safer, so that more and more people could use and enjoy them. Pressed steel wheels for greater strength, stoplights to warn following drivers, rear view mirrors, four-wheel hydraulic brakes to increase stopping power, bumpers to add more protection, rubber-covered pedals to keep feet from slipping. Safety glass increased passenger protection tremendously. Welded all-steel bodies and all-steel tops meant more strength and safety. Bumpy roads were smoothed out with shock absorbers, and Grandpa could sail along in comfort and safety. Through the years, the automobile changed from a novelty to a necessity. It created a new way of life. It provided a whole new concept of transportation for industry. And we became a nation on the move for work and pleasure. Besides designing better automobiles, the manufacturers developed research and testing techniques to help them build safer cars. The science of metallurgy met the challenge of creating more efficient and stronger parts and assemblies. scientists used all kinds of technical equipment in research and development programs. Ingenious torture tests were designed to reveal fatigue and failure points in parts and assemblies. And like the parts and assemblies, the cars themselves were tested under all kinds of driving conditions to make sure that they would operate with maximum efficiency and safety. At the end of the rugged test run on the proving grounds, they were disassembled down to the last bolt and checked and studied in minute detail. Year after year, manufacturing processes steadily improved to make sure that every automobile that left the factory was in good working order. Each car was subjected to more than 2,000 inspections. Cars became safer and more reliable. So when Grandpa, still plenty spry in spite of his age, set out for a little trip, his car was reliable, safe, comfortable, and easy to drive. Safety door locks kept Grandpa secure inside the all-steel body. The adjustable seat quickly placed him in a comfortable position. The automatic transmission made driving easier, and easier controls meant safer driving. Styling contributed to safety. The low center of gravity gave more stability. Tubeless tires meant increased safety. New equipment kept Grandpa warm in the winter and cool in the summer to add to his comfort. And a more comfortable driver was a safer driver. More powerful and reliable engines were developed to make driving more efficient. When Grandpa passed another car, he did it safely and easily. Wraparound windshields and larger rear windows increased visibility tremendously. Sealed beam headlamps guided Grandpa safely at night. Power brakes made it possible for him to stop easily and quickly. Directional signals let the other fellow know the driver's intentions. Power steering not only made parking a breeze, it made all driving easier. Even in the good old days of the 1950s and 1960s, Grandpa could rely on his automobile to get him to his destination quickly, safely, and fresh as a daisy. So you see, folks, all of you who are living in the year 2000 are fortunate, because through the years, the automobile manufacturers have had as their goal your safety first. They have constantly improved the quality and safety of automobiles. And they will continue in the future as they have in the past to create cars that are more maneuverable, more responsive, more dependable in every situation, and easier, more pleasant, and safer for all of us to drive, including, of course, Grandpa.
That's the ding-dong truth, folks. Look at me going on 117. It's this easy modern living that does it. Well, so long, kids. Gotta go pick up another new model.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and mothers.
Ladies and mothers. This is a shopping basket. Its purpose is to be filled with good food to keep the family healthy and happy.
So Mother fills it with vegetables, 'cause they taste good and are full of vitamins.
Uh-huh. And with meat, because it tastes good and it's full of vitamins and protein. Uh-huh. And with sugar jets, because they taste delicious and give you vitamins and protein, too.
They're crunchy as ice cream cones.
Uh-huh. And they're just sweet enough.
Grand for breakfast.
And fun for snacks.
Helps you grow up.
And feel good. Sugar Jets are real food. The triple treat of sugar-toasted oats and wheat. So jet up with Sugar Jets. They make you feel jet-propelled.
Sugar Jets.
Hello, folks. I'm John Wayne. You know, with America's bicentennial coming up, we'll be hearing a lot about our early history and making some discoveries. For instance, did you know that when we made the Louisiana Purchase, the money came from loans by the American people? The same thing was true when we bought Alaska, when we built our first transcontinental railroad. Fact is, citizens have been investing their dollars to help America grow ever since 1776. And they're still doing it today with their purchases of United States savings bonds. Buying bonds builds security for yourself as well as your country, and that's not a bad combination. So how about making yourself a part of that 200-year tradition? Take stock in America with United States savings bonds. Thank you.
Mrs. Schwartz?
Oh,
Excuse me, Mrs. Schwartz. Could you tell us how you feel about oil heat?
oil heat? Oh, well, I think oil heat is wonderful. See, I'm showering in the school. What's for hot water? All I want, all I can use. And I know for a fact that only oil heat can give me so much, so fast, and it's so dependable. And I got my dishwasher going, my washer going. Still plenty of hot water. Whoops, I dropped myself. You know, everybody, all my friends wouldn't think of buying a house unless it was heated by oil. Oh, everybody thinks it's so dependable. Dependable hot water and dependable comfortable heating in every room in my house.
Mrs. Schwartz?
Yeah?
You know you're on television?
Yes, I know.
Oil heat. You can depend on it.
Burt Reynolds here again. You know, I thought about being an astronaut. Then I remembered I don't like small spaces. However, I look amazing in a fishbowl helmet. You think it's still too late for me?
For all the people back on Earth, the crew of Apollo 8 has a message that we would like to send to you. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day.
In the beginning, the void, the darkness, then light, then life. And from life came man, joining the caravan for the long, slow journey through a world of discovery, invention, exploration. His marks, his milestones, stretch out through the centuries. His footsteps echo down through the corridors of time. Time, July 1969 in Florida. The footsteps, the caravan quickened. The corridors shortened as man reached outside his world into another void. Today in Florida, they go about their lives, taking only a sideways glance at the reminders of that milestone. Reminders, images that vaguely jog our memory.
This is Apollo Saturn Launch Control, aiming toward a planned liftoff time of 32 minutes past the hour. The start of our launch window on this mission to land men on the moon. The countdown still proceeding very satisfactorily at this time.
Time, it plays tricks on us. It smudges and blurs the sharp edges of reality. But we turn the trick and summon up our own reality, images, sounds, to help us remember.
During the powered flight. Batteries all look good. The next time we go internal will be at the 50-second mark with those batteries, and they will remain, of course, on internal power during the flight. The lunar module, which has been rather inactive during these latter phases of the count, also is going on internal power at this time on the 2 batteries in the ascent stage and the 4 batteries at the descent stage.
They came 1 million of them to this place, drawn by the magnet of history in the making.
The astronauts, the prime crew, were awakened at 4:15 a.m. Eastern Daylight and proceeded to have a physical examination in which they were declared flight ready. They sat down for the normal astronaut fare on launch day. As far as breakfast is concerned, orange juice, steak, scrambled eggs, toast, and coffee. The target for the Apollo 11 astronauts, the moon, at liftoff will be at a distance of 218,096 miles away. The astronauts departed from their crew quarters after checking out their suits. They departed from the crew quarters at 6:27 a.m. and some 27 minutes later, 8 miles away from the crew quarters at the Kennedy Space Center, atop the launch pad at Complex 39, 6:54 a.m., the commander, astronaut Neil Armstrong, was the first to board the spacecraft. He was followed about 5 minutes later by Mike Collins, and finally Buzz Aldrin, the man who's sitting in the middle seat during liftoff, was the 3rd astronaut to come aboard. The weather is certainly go. It's a beautiful morning for a launch to the moon. We expect a temperature of about 85 degrees in the Kennedy Space Center area. We're still go on Apollo 11 at this time. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Tower cleared.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot. I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Apollo 11. Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins. They and millions of others reached out and, in their own way, touched another planet. The images remind us that it happened, but not how it really was in the context of the times. George Low, one of the architects of the Apollo program, does remember.
If you think back at the period of the 60s, they weren't very happy years in general. We had, the ever-deepening involvement in Vietnam. We had riots on the campuses, riots in Watts and elsewhere, 3 terrible assassinations. A great deal of strife and turmoil in the country. And yet all of this was overcome by one single event, and that was Apollo 11. The decade ended with it. It was a fantastic adventure that I believe helped overcome all of the bad things of the decade. It represented Americans to ourselves, and particularly to the rest of the world, as we like to see ourselves and as we hope the rest of the world likes to see us.
the equipment of Apollo. Some of it is now in museums, artifacts from an age of discovery. These strange-looking objects, they're there as reminders that after all, it did happen, and it happened the way we remember. The facilities of Apollo, now silent and still. In Houston, Mission Control, the nerve center of manned flight operations. The chapters of space history, first Mercury, then Gemini, then Apollo, were written by the people who sat at these consoles. And these chapters of history came at us with breakneck speed. Christmas Eve, 1968, in the beginning, Apollo 8. The footsteps were quickening. A few months later, Apollo 9. The long years of preparation were contracting into days, hours, minutes. The first manned flight of the lunar module, the Spider. Apollo 10, the dress rehearsal for the real thing. In 5 months, 3 missions, and in the 7th month, the payoff. Then, the celebrations. The images and the sounds fade in our memories, but some things we can't forget. Names: Apollo 11, Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins. Other names: Grissom, White, and Chaffee. They remind us that it wasn't all success and celebration. There was failure and tragedy. Early in 1967, the 3 crawled into the command module at Cape Kennedy for a test. There was a flash fire. All 3 died. After the shock came the long, painful job of picking up the pieces, learning the lessons, coming together for a common goal. The remains of the launch structure stand as a reminder that the goal was reached. These strange shapes, what do they mean? These towers of steel, what are they? Monuments or leftovers from some earlier age of discovery? In the long history of man, in the slow journey of the caravan, what point do these mark? Historian Arthur Schlesinger. I have no doubt at all that if posterity remembers the 20th century for anything, historians 500 years from now looking at the 20th century, it will be because it will be the century when man first began to break his terrestrial bonds and began the exploration of space. So that's it? As man learned, moved on, and discarded the earlier structures, he came to these. They're marked for further milestones, reserved for future missions, other reaches to other different voids. Historians 5 centuries from now will mark this century, this place, and they will further note that from the void, life, man, it took eons to reach this point. But once there, the centuries and years compressed into days, hours, split seconds of exploration. The wheel, the engine, the airplane, They came slowly at first, then with increasing velocity. And then this, so huge, so powerful, so different that no ordinary modern name would suffice. They reached backward through antiquity to Roman mythology, and they named it Saturn. Saturn. His father was heaven, his mother earth. The complex organization, the mammoth machines, the incredibly detailed technical knowledge, the dedication, it was all harnessed, sharpened to a fine edge, and focused. The program developed and matured. Apollo 17 was launched at night, and even the old hands, the hardened veterans of the space program, couldn't help but feel the awe, and wonder, and excitement. In the excitement of the split second of exploration, man doesn't stop to freeze the moment in history, to look at it and ask what it means. He simply lives it out. But in the Apollo program, on their way to the moon, they found a way to live out their strange moments in those strange spacecraft. It may be the peculiar nature of Americans to make history and to have fun in the making. They relaxed and had fun because we, were confident of success. But the program teaches lessons. Confidence is a transitory thing. Apollo 13.
Hey, Houston, we've had a problem here. Can you say again, please? Houston, we've had a problem. Stand by, 13. We're looking at it.
3 days out, barreling toward the moon, an explosion. No one would see the problem for some time, but they went to work on it. The people of Apollo coalesced into a single dedicated unit, linked themselves with their technology, and cheated tragedy. A new chapter in space history was written in Mission Control. Eugene Kranz was the flight director when the problem developed.
Throughout this entire next several days, there was one dominant thought in the minds of all of the flight controllers. We teach them that between God, country, and your own capability, that you can solve any problem that may occur in flight. Throughout the entire course of Apollo 13, there was never any doubt that we'd get the crew back. So there was a very positive approach, and with this kind of approach, you can solve just about any problem that comes up.
Solve any problem, country, capability, old-fashioned words during a time when some said the old-fashioned virtues were forgotten. Well, they weren't forgotten. They were translated into action, into programs which took man soaring above the surface of the moon, away from Earth, but always looking back on it. These divided thoughts, the moon, the Earth, run through the Apollo program a sort of theme. They went there flying in their graceful machines, but they always thought back to where they came from. Perhaps that's natural. The moon is a strange place for men to be flying to. If it's strange for men, for mankind, it's stranger still for the individual man. Harrison Schmitt, Dr. Harrison Schmitt, a geologist, he touched the moon and remembers how it was when Apollo 17 was making its descent, the last flight to the moon, the last time that man walked on its surface. Schmitt remembers how it was.
One's first feelings are a mixture, a very complex mixture of humility, excitement because of something you had planned to do was being accomplished, but of a great attention to detail, to the detail that you had thought about and learned about for so many years prior to the actual event. That detail keeps you occupied with where your hands are and where your feet are, which rung they might be. You try to remember, well, am I at the bottom of the rung? And then as one moves away and tests his way on the surface of the moon and looks around, and in my case, looked around a very magnificent valley, you see a rolling, hilly country that is interspersed with some blocky fields of rocks that you know because you've studied the photographs, and you saw them as you descended surround large craters that have been formed in that rolling countryside. These rolling dark hills merge in the distance a few kilometers away with the very smooth but very bright colored slopes of the massifs. And they rise with a majesty to rocky tops that are almost beyond description because there's nothing like it that we have seen on Earth.
The Sea of Tranquility, Hadley Rill, Taurus Littoral. They were once strange names on the map of the moon, but the men of Apollo gave reality to the names by being there and showing us the places. They explored 60 miles of its surface, and their travels took them to craters, foothills, to explore, to observe, and to sample. The hard rock proof of Apollo, enshrined in the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C., 478.8 grams of microbreccia, under glass for mere earthlings to see and whisper about. Other rocks from the moon, 840 pounds, are being studied and talked about by scientists in laboratories around the world. Not only rocks, tens of thousands of photographs of those strange, exotic features of the moon. And telemetry, data on tape, facts, figures. The studies will go on for years, and the answers will come slowly, answers to questions about the moon and the solar system. The science of Apollo is not merely concerned with samples from past milestones, yesterday's missions. In a special room in Houston, men sit at consoles and command instruments on the moon to send them today's data. And they receive it today within 8 seconds of the command. Science, that's the key, and technology, and something else. In the drama of the moment, few stop to think of the essential element, the one thing that made it happen. People came to this program, government people, university people, contractor people. They brought to Apollo skills and knowledge and determination. This source of human intellectual energy was marshaled, focused, challenged. What came out of the effort was not just a very successful program, but a rich national resource of vast proportions. Crystals from the moon, the symbols of the science of Apollo. Behind it, causing it, was the spirit of Apollo.
I was strolling on the moon one day in the merry, merry month of December. Now, May's the month. May, that's right. May is the year of the month. When, much to my surprise, a pair of bunny eyes. That's the truth. You do that in West Texas and you get a...
We saw something of this spirit. We shared in the adventure, the excitement, the euphoria of being there. We shared it with the men who bounced across the surface of the moon.
Look at the size of that biggie. It is a biggie, isn't it?
And the surprise of discovery. We were there too, all of us, watching, vicarious explorers.
For the big boulder. Okay, we're headed that way. You get the tongs, John? Yep. I'll carry the rake. Look at the size of that rock. Can't believe it. I can't either. Okay, let's go on back. I am.
And the meaning, the significance of an occasion. That too came to us, flashed into our living rooms on our 19-inch window on the universe.
Throughout the world. We hope that this will be a symbol of what our feelings are, what the feelings of the Apollo program are, and a symbol of mankind that we can live in peace and harmony in the future.
There was also pride. They put up the flag and then posed for pictures as any visitor to a foreign place might do. The flag of each mission stood there as a reminder that we had been there, but there was the realization that in truth, it belonged to all the people. There are no boundaries on the moon. The focus was the moon. That's what it was all about. But by reaching up there, we, in a sense, came back here.
As one stands and scans a 360-degree panorama of his own, one of the first objects in the dark lunar sky that you see is a bright and beautiful bluish globe that we call Earth. This globe represented to all of us, I think, not only home, but a very fragile place that we have come back and felt that needed not only protection, but understanding.
They first went there in 1969. They last left there in late 1972. Between the beginning and the conclusion, they came to feel, to dimly perceive what it was all about, to come to a perspective on the meaning of it all. Poet Archibald MacLeish has said it better than most. To see the earth as it truly is, small and blue and beautiful, in that eternal silence where it floats, is to see ourselves as riders on the earth together, brothers who know now they are truly brothers. The excitement of the mission, the tension and drama of the splashdown, they remain only in our memories. And in time, they'll be replaced in the future by other missions, other memories. The moments of Apollo may be over, but the understanding and the discovery, they go on. And the full meaning, the real meaning, may yet be in the future too. But for now, for the present, the images and the sounds provide meaning enough to each in his own way and to each in his own time.
The power of the atom, greatest source of energy man has ever discovered, is now serving in many ways, from atomic submarines and ships to nuclear fuel generation of electric power. Planning ahead for California's growing electric needs, PG&E, in partnership with General Electric, has had Vallecito's atomic power plant in operation since the fall of '57. Its license from the Atomic Energy Commission was the very first one issued. Now we're building a much larger atomic electric plant to begin operation in 1962 at Humboldt Bay near Eureka. Today, atomic electricity costs more than conventional power in the United States, but at PG&E's Eureka plant, engineers expect to break this cost barrier and become the first in America to achieve economic atomic electricity. Creative engineering, research, and pioneering development like this help keep your PG&E service your best bargain.
You can make your family's life much brighter. You will find your work much lighter. It's as easy as can be to live better electrically. You can have more time for fun and pleasure. Family moments you will treasure. It's an opportunity to live better electrically.
Modern folks have learned to save their time and energy too.
You don't have to work and slave. Let electricity do it for you. You can have your cake and you can eat it. Make life sweet, it's hard to beat it. What a thrill to be so free when you live electrically.
Loving wife Mary and their alarm clock. It failed to go off. My word, what a fuss. Poor Jock overslept and missed his bus. But Mary was ready with the yellow page guide. Called a cab, sent him off on his ride. Then she decided to find where to buy some brand name products she wanted to try. She found neighborhood dealers in the yellow page book and went on her way. That's all it took. Down at the office, to Jock's dismay, he saw that his typist was leaving that day. An employment agency he'd used before, but forgotten the name of, had gals galore. So to find out the name, Jock took a fast look in the time-saving classified telephone book. Meanwhile, back at the ranch house, his mate had looked in the classified and made a date to have the clock. You be smart, too. If you're looking for something, here's what to do. Use the yellow pages, the first place to look for anything.
You're watching WALT, where Americana lives today.